The Tenpin Bowling Show is proudly brought to you by your local APBA and Tenpin Bowling Centres. This week on The Bowling Show, we're bringing you all the action of the 2009 Melbourne Tenpin Cup from Oz Tenpin, Epping in Victoria. This is the rechallenge finals between George Frilingos and Andrew Thorpe. For all the action on the lanes, let's cross to your commentators, Brenton Davey and Michael Tran.
Thanks very much, Tony, and welcome to all viewers to the 2009 Melbourne Tenpin Cup Tenpin Bowling Show's coverage of the grand final. This is the rechallenge match. Now, for viewers that didn't see the show last week, Andrew Thorpe had challenged the number one seed, which was George Frilingos. Now on screen, he's bowled 233.5 pins on average this week. And George, in fact, lost the first match, so he has the opportunity to re-challenge. Welcome, Brenton Davey, sitting by my side.
Thank you very much, Michael. Good evening to the viewers. George really struggled last week, but he's made a good start today.
So we'll have a look at the first shot there. It's nice and high in the 1-2. The head pin tripping out the 6. Now, our second qualifier, Andrew Thorpe, has bowled very, very well as well. 230.7 average. It's a fantastic effort.
It is a fantastic effort on this condition. If you haven't been watching the last few weeks, have a look at this. No thumb in the ball, but a conventional swing takes a lot of strength to do that. Doesn't quite make it up on this occasion. Leaves the 2 and the 4 pins.
There's a lot of power in that shot, and it's very unconventional. He makes it work for him.
And he's made it work for him very, very well. He's cut a swathe through this field to get to the grand final against George Frilingos, and he certainly gave George more than he could handle last week.
For the spare conversion, 2-4 pin. Very, very nicely done. Plenty of oil in the middle of the lane, which means the ball tends to go longer before it transitions into hook.
Yes, this 42-foot pattern has played very, very long this week. For free downloads and information about the Tenpin Bowling Show, come and join our website, tenpinbowlingshow.com.au. We would love to hear any feedback you have on the show. Andrew Thorpe now in the second frame.
Oh, another high shot. Well, sorry, when I say another, referring to a little bit last week, but first one was light on the left side. Now we're seeing a high shot on the right-hand side, leaving the 4-pin cold.
Just a little bit tight inside on that one. Almost held pocket. Should go back, make the spare.
And does so.
But with having started spare, George Frilingos has a 1-pin lead going into his second frame.
Yes, and well, if he can put on a strike here, that 1-pin lead turns into 11 pins and looking a bit ominous.
Yes, indeed. But as we said, he struggled last week. He was fishing around for a shot. See what happens here.
And down the outside, and that's about the flushest shot we've seen from George Frilingos in the last week and a bit.
We have a look at that one. That's in the hole. 4 pins, slap the 10 out. George looking a little bit more aggressive this week. He looked a bit tentative last week. The thing that he is hoping is that the ball that he's used here, which is quite an aggressive ball, might have just tracked the condition out a little bit, just generate a little bit of area.
He's went wide with that one, but that one's ended up even flush.
I tell you what, I think that that aggressive ball has opened up a bit of an area. You look at that, that was 2-3 boards outside the target. He's caught every bit of it, and have a look at that roll up.
Look at that check up. Lovely shot, buried.
10 in the pit.
Looking very composed is George. He now takes, well, what looks like to be a commanding lead at the top of the third, but anything can happen. This is a very short format.
It's effectively 21 pin lead. Andrew is on a possible 279 game if he were to strike out from here. George, of course, is on possible 300. And there's a bucket crumbler from Andrew Thorpe.
Oh, there's a bit of luck going to Andrew's side. What was the 2-4-5-8 has crushed. Was there 1 second.
Something's mixed in between all those pins, and they've gone out in all directions. Light twice in a row on that lane, needs to make an adjustment. It was high flush last time on this lane. Let's see what happens here, and it's flush again. Now he's got the double.
Lovely shot.
Now George Frilingos up. He's seen Andrew Thorpe's made the double, and that's cut into his lead slightly. See if he can go back and turn this into a 4-bagger.
Yeah, it's what they call a 4-bagger. He's on what we call a turkey now, which is 3 in a row. But definitely looking to turn this into 4 and get some sort of lead on Andrew. It's going to be very hard to catch. Nice shot.
Looking a lot more confident than in his last match.
Absolutely. He's right in the rhythm now. Lined up on both lanes. Taking that straight line down there and buried that flush in the 1-2.
He's just getting through the bottom of the swing a lot more aggressively than he was in his last match.
It's definitely what we're more used to seeing from George Frilingos as we have a look at the top of the 5th. And burying that one flush too. But now we'd like to go down to Tony Drexel for this week's edition of the Bowling News. Welcome everybody back to the Tenpin Bowling Show's coverage of the 2009 Melbourne Tenpin Cup from Epping Lanes in Victoria. It's George Frilingos versus Andrew Thorpe. We are at the bottom of the 5th. George Frilingos has started in a flurry of strikes, the first 5. And Andrew putting in there another light pocket hit.
That's 3 in a row light hits on that lane. Looks like that lane may have transitioned a little bit. That was certainly a little bit more inside than the previous couple on that lane. Still didn't finish. He needs to make an adjustment.
We can just briefly give a commendation to Graham Pearson and the great work he's doing with the disabled kids in the sport of tenpin.
Absolutely. I've worked with some disabled kids and it's really inspiring stuff. Anyway, Andrew Thorpe has covered that spare. And now with a strike in the 6th, he will be 107 in the 5th. That will give him a possible score of 257. At the moment, George Frilingos does not look like missing.
No, he needs to pile on the strikes now. He's got to start now. Lovely shot. Fantastic shot. I think that's a shot of his game so far.
Have a look at this. All that power. That's 10 in the pit.
Dead flush.
Thing of beauty. George Frilingos, much more conventional, traditional type style.
Takes that wide line outside. Let's see the ball move up. Oh, just getting a kick on the 7-pin. Love that carry.
Have a look at this shot. 4-pin, leans up against the 7. Just gives it that little what we call a love tap. And George is now to the halfway point. He has 6 in a row. 12 in a row would be a 300.
Perfect game, folks. It's what we all aim for as a bowler. But we'll see what he can do. Number 7. Buried that one flush too. He's very confident right now. He's got the strut. He's definitely in a walk now.
He has. He's just got such a good look now. Last week was a struggle. His equipment now, the conditions really come to him. And he's just taking absolute advantage of it. Andrew Thorpe has a possible 257. And that's another thing that's keeping George interested. He has to keep striking.
He hit the lid, pulled up short on the line, but got some hold in the middle of the lane. Ball made it to the pocket, and with all that power, it's almost always going to be a strike, isn't it?
Absolutely. Now that time, he's gone flush. First time he's got it flush to the pocket on that lane in this match. If he can go out and continue hitting that pocket, he's hitting the right-hand lane. If he can hit the left lane all the way out, choose 257, George has to keep striking.
As Andrew steps up to the top of the 7th.
With just the fingers in the ball, the thumb spread.
He's hit the line all right that time. Oh, brilliant shot. Brilliant shot. That's all we can say about that.